Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin'. I'm your host,
Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. Bob with you and talk about all the latest, what happened up in that game, break down all the scores and stats.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that their regular self. The offense has not arrived yet. Let's see if we can get it back rolling. That'll be crazy.
Facts. You know our little defense. Facts. Go Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chiefin'. I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing today, bro?
Good. Feeling good off this bye week.
Man, it was a long bye week as well, too, man. It was very interesting. We got a break. Kelce out there having a good time. So I'm definitely ready to get back into this action. We definitely got a big one coming up on Monday against the Eagles. And then also we definitely going to recap what we talked about today. So here are the today topics that we're going to actually go over. So we're going to talk about the Germany standouts. So recently the Kansas City Chiefs, before the bye week, they won against the Miami Dolphins 21-14. And the Chiefs were able to go away with a victory, go ahead and go up to 7-2. And we'll see what happens when they come back from the break. Also, we're going to talk about Sneed, of course. We're going to see if we actually pay him at the end of the season or who will be interested in paying him as well. Also, we're going to be talking about the Monday New Heights, the Kelce Bowl once again. Travis Kelce versus his brother Jason Kelce. They both play on the offensive side, but they're definitely beloved from both of the cities that they actually represent. So this is a rematch from Super Bowl 57. Eagles want to come back with redemption after, saying that the field played a factor into why they probably didn't win the game. So we definitely would discuss that. And also right here, we have our producer's prediction, 2023 Eagles, exactly. Ooh, Eagles. Our producer think we're going to drop one. I think we both have different predictions from that. But, hey, that's definitely going to be an interesting topic that we are actually going to be discussing. So before we go ahead and go into our first topic, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media, and make sure to like, comment, and share this video as well. We definitely want to talk to more Chiefs fans and, jump into the comments and, get into some decent debates. So Lonnie, first up, we got to talk about the game against the Miami Dolphins. We were able to stop my former boy, our former great wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. McDuffie, a dog, was able to force that fumble, putting us up 21-0 after Mike Edwards actually picked up that fumble and pitched it off to Brian Cook, where he ran down for a 47-yard touchdown, and that put us up 21-0. Wasn't able to score it in the second half, but we did enough to actually win that game. So, Lonnie, how you feel about that matchup?
Yeah, I feel like it was what we expected it to be. It was a high power game. We didn't expect it to be as defensive as it was, but unfortunately, it was a very defensive game. The Chiefs have continued to show who they're going to be all year, which is a solid defensive team and a lackluster offensive team. We're hoping that we can change that coming out of the bye week, but I think that's what we've seen going into this game. We got some things done on that first drive, and what we kind of stalled out there a little bit during the game, and then we were able to get some things rolling on defense. I really like what I seen from Trent McDuffie. I feel like the trade for Tyreek Hill was showed two things. It gave us depth on that side of as far as picks and drafting guys, and then it showed that we were gonna go out and get a corner to try and guard this guy now because he's no longer on our team. Being that Veach went got 6 different corners, being that one of those corners made a play in that game, I feel like it made it all worth it. So I feel like Trent made that play, it just kind of was a blessing in disguise kind of for Brett Veach, showing that he made the right move. It just gave me more confidence in Veach and just what he's doing moving forward. As far as him making picks, making trades, doing what he's just being able to see the future. Some things that we can't always see as fans. But yes, Trent McDuffie stood out to me. I loved how we played the game on defense, being that that's a super high octane offense. That wants to score a lot of points. The only other offense that is better than them is the Eagles, which we'll be facing here on Monday night. But I like what I seen a lot from Trent McDuffie, and then on the other hand, Patrick Mahomes. I didn't like what I seen from him so much, but I'm hoping that he can step it up and turn it around coming out the bye week and just start playing at a better and a higher level. He has to raise his game. I feel like if the offense wants to raise their game, and Mahomes hasn't played that well this year, so hopefully we can see him play better coming out the bye week.
Man, that game against the Miami Dolphins, I think it was a big victory for Kansas City, even though they start out the season solid. But however, at the same time, we did have those offensive woes that kind of brung us down. We're not actually used to that. So it's unfortunate that we weren't able to get off to that hot start. However, I was satisfied with the victory. Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, George Karlaftis, Drew Tranquil, Willie Gay, they all had a solid performance, and that's what we needed against an offense that could actually, blow the top off of a defense. We were able to contain Tyreek Hill. However, if you go back to the film, you see at times he was able to get open, and maybe if Tua had the time, he could get it downfield and it could be potentially a touchdown. But at the same time, we saw throughout that film, and what I was looking at as well, at times, L'Jarius Sneed was very aggressive. He was definitely attacking Tyreek. He was getting up in his chest, really bumping him at the line of scrimmage, and that was throwing off the timing for Tua, which was effective on our end, and we was able to get pressure and get him down, or at least force a quick throw. So, I love what I saw. I think we have to get used to this being the team that we want to actually see going forward, because going against some of these offenses that can actually put up a lot of points, we finally have a defense that can be able to contain that. And like we said before, we would rather have a guy like Patrick Mahomes be a player that has to improve going later on in the season. He already have that fire in him. He's a veteran when it comes into the postseason. This is 7th straight season. His floor at this moment is the AFC Championship game. So we know when he gets to the playoffs, he's able to turn it up. And I am actually proud about that. So in situations like this, I'm glad that we have to depend on the defense, and it kind of builds their confidence as well, too. Because you stop an offense like Miami, who is hot, they're fresh, they just got a lot of these weapons last year and some this year as well too, so you were expecting them to really do what they did against a team like Denver, where they put up 70 points, and then you saw them put up multiple 30-point games as well too. However, this is a defense who has been very aggressive. Spags been able to scheme for those type of offenses as well too, and for us to hold a team like that to 14 points, all it's going to do going forward is make this defense very aggressive. They're going to feel like they're very dominant, and then going against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, who have more big body receivers. AJ Brown, who is not that he's not that far behind from Tyreek Hill. He's at 1,005 yards himself, and then they got a great number 2 in Devontae Smith, who is a number 1 on a lot of other teams in the league as well. So if we come out in this game and we're able to do the same thing that we did last week, the league, they're in trouble, because now you're worrying about a Kansas City defense that has one of the best offensive weapons of all time at the quarterback position, Patrick Mahomes, and then really the greatest tight end in NFL history as well too, with Travis Kelce. And the wide receivers, although that they started off very slow, they can pick it up. We already heard about Kadarius Toney as well earlier too. Andy Reid had to step up and say, hey, y'all forget that this is a guy who went into the training camp with a knee injury. He had a surgery. He came back by week 1 because he toughed it out. You want to know why? If that was the New York Giants, he probably would have sat out middle of the season, because he doesn't have that trust in that unit. But playing for an organization that's winners and they're built for this moment, and they're going to go into the playoffs, he's like, oh, I got to come in and actually do something now. So I need to show my toughness, because when the second half of the season come and I'm healthy, I want those targets. So let's hope that's the reason why we haven't seen him explode in this offense, but we haven't seen that yet. So great game against the Miami Dolphins. I'm definitely happy about what I saw. I definitely wanted more points, but hey, keeping a team like that to 14 points with a great offense, I'm okay with that going forward. And if we can do that consistently, I'm loving it. So, your last thoughts before we move forward?
Absolutely. Like you said, you love what you see from the defense. This is something that we wouldn't have been able to say at least even a year ago. We know that the Chiefs are gonna come and hold this team to under 20 points and get us a win here. So this is something that we have to kind of cherish right now. And like I
Right.
said, we have to say hats off to Brett Veach and what he's done, revamping his team with all those picks that he received from Tyreek Hill. Just a couple of years ago, like I said, when it was down in Albuquerque visiting you, we thought it was the end of the world losing Tyreek Hill, and now we look up and one Super Bowl later,
And
and
beat them.
5 DBs later, and we've beat them, and we got a forced fumble by the DB that was picked up with some draft picks that we got from the trade with him. So this is I feel like we're on the brighter side of things. Let's see if we can continue to have this happen moving forward with our cornerbacks and the rest of our defense.
And before we move forward, all I have to say is, as of now, it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs won this trade. Even though the wide receivers is not looking like we want it to look, we were able to get picks that has helped us improve in both sides of the ball. Great offensive linemen, great defensive backs. They're making plays. We won a Super Bowl. We were able to beat him. Now let's move forward and see what we can do going forward throughout the rest of the season. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into our next topic. So, Lonnie, L'Jarius Sneed, bro, balling out. One of the highest graded defensive backs this season. He, if you look at his resume against number one wide receivers, the only wide receiver that had the highest receiving yards. It was, I think, between Emerald St. Brown and also Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill had about 64 yards. And he averaged about 100 yards a game or 80 plus yards a game for sure. So his resume and Justin Jefferson only having 3 receptions and 28 yards, he's showing that he's a number one cornerback in the league. And wherever he goes, he's going to be the reason why they're successful in that defensive back group. So how do you feel about this situation? Can the Chiefs actually get a contract done? And what are your overall thoughts in general about how he has been this season?
Yeah, so I think Brett Veach has to get something done here. This is one of his guys that he's picked, that he's drafted, hand selected by the Veach regime. He's earned this money here in Kansas City, being that he was able to shut guys down like Jay Jettas, all of those other number one wide receivers, the Tyreek Hills of the world, just a ton of different guys that he was able to neutralize for our defense. This is the corner that I feel like that we've coveted for so much here in Kansas City for the past couple of years, that we just haven't been able to get, being that we don't pick that high up in the draft. But L'Jarius Sneed is someone that I feel like Brett Veach has to pay. This is somebody you cannot tag and trade. You can't let go. You don't let someone like this out of the building. Jay Jetta was putting 150 yards up on every corner he's seen until you ran into L'Jarius Sneed and he ended up on IR. So I don't see how you let that type of talent walk out of the room. How you let it get out of the building. We never had a corner that was really a shadow type of guy that was going from guy to guy. You could say our one of the most best in recent years, Marcus Peters, and then you can go back further than that and say Brandon Flowers. You got some guys in there that we definitely have, but I would say none to the likes of L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is at the top of his game right now. Not only is he at the top of his game, he has a fellow corner, Trent McDuffie, who's also playing at the top of his game. That defensive back room is really, really deep. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did let him walk, unfortunately, but I think you can't. That's a corner that I just feel like you can't let out of the room, just being what he does. The savvy veteran man coverage that he plays the perfect type of scheme. The Spags like to do the slot blitzes. Everything about the L'Jarius Sneed project has just worked. Everything about the player just fits the scheme. I feel like he just fits too good for you to let him go, but I don't know.
And it's very interesting you bring them up with the dime and nickel package blitzes that we're accustomed of seeing him actually do. But if you notice this season, especially with the departure of Charvarius Ward, we of course we didn't have him last year as well too. But have you noticed that we kind of dialed back a little bit with his blitzes and been sending Trent McDuffie a lot more? And I think that's because we've been playing L'Jarius Sneed to the outside a lot more. And this is a guy in previous seasons when he was coming up. Remember, he's a 4th round pick as well too, and he really elevated his game. He was the guy that we had in the nickel and dime. We sent him on blitzes, but he made great plays as well too, and also got some turnovers with some clutch picks. However, at times you will see him kind of get beat in the slot. A guy was able to get behind him or sit behind line, miscues, miscoverage, and we'll probably see a big game or so. But you seen him evolve, and a lot of times he may be handsy, but he's more of a guy who likes to be up in your face, and you can see his growth on the outside as well too, because he haven't let nobody have a big game on him. So I really apply him for that. So I definitely love what I see from him so far. I think the evolution of L'Jarius Sneed this is just the beginning, and we can really get him up to the top level of really being considered the best defensive back in the entire league, just because what he's doing right now. And adding on top with him being able to get after the quarterback, being someone who's not afraid to hit, was one of our best tacklers on the team before we actually had Trent McDuffie. I'm sorry I'm giving it to him right now, but we seen this is a guy who forced four fumbles. He missed first part of the season last year and came back lights out. We was complaining about him not getting any turnovers, but always being there. He's like, okay, I'm getting turnovers, but I'm doing it like this.
And I want to say it's a guy that's undersized too, and this is what
Yeah.
I feel like is super win for Trent. Right,
Mm-hmm.
undersized. Knock on him coming out of the draft is that you're undersized. They're going to go
Exactly.
after you. They're going to make you tackle. They're going to load the box. You think you can come in banging with these big old tight ends and wide receivers, and you're undersized. That's just not the narrative. And he's taken that weakness and made it a strength, which is like really amazing for a guy to be that small and that to be a knock when you coming out, and for you to lead the team and force fumbles.
Yeah, and how you brought that up with him being undersized. If you're not going to have that, you don't have as long as arms, so you're probably not going to get that many opportunities to get an interception. So your best bet is to always play good in coverage, not allow the guy to have open space to where they have an advantage of throwing the ball towards you. You're kind of doing that, and then you're defending the ball as well too. So you're not getting anything up because you are at least getting your hand up there, getting a PBU, or just making it difficult for the wide receiver. And then when it's time to hit, you're making the best of it. You're forcing a fumble. So I definitely apply him for that. But going back to L'Jarius Sneed, with what he does and what he brings to this defense, you already alluded to this before. Why would you let somebody out the building like that, to where we had a guy like Marcus Peters previous years? We let him go because of attitude, apparently, but he was worth the money if you really put it into perspective. He made a lot of turnovers. He was definitely good in zone coverage. It's just at times he would get beat. L'Jarius Sneed, he's not getting beat. He's getting turnovers, and then you can also send him in there to get a blitz as well too. And usually the success rate for that is within 90% to 100%. So you're getting something out of it at least. So if he doesn't get signed here, and I think it will probably have to be like a 4-year deal, we're going to want him long term, right? So I don't know what the market is like for defensive backs, but I'm sure they're going to have to get it close to 20 plus, right? Probably have to give him a decent amount in guaranteed money, and I think he'll be satisfied to stay in Kansas City. But a lot of people think if we do win this championship again, maybe the guys who are chasing contracts, they think about it a little bit. We're on this dynasty run. We can still get a little money on the back end as well too. We're still going to get paid. We still got a job. We're secured in our position. Let's see what this ride does for the next couple of years. They might want to take that opportunity. But if L'Jarius Sneed walks out of that building and we don't franchise tag him or do anything like that, you want to know what team I think would be interested in bringing him in?
Who?
The Miko Ryans and the Houston Texans. They already got Derek Stingley coming back from IR. You add a guy like L'Jarius Sneed to that defense. This is a defensive-minded head coach as well, too. And right now, he's building some dogs over there, and they're getting some confidence. He has a young quarterback that's balling out who considered an MVP candidate. Going to a team like that, yes, in the AFC against your former team, but at the same time, you're still a competitor. Anything can happen. The Kansas City Chiefs can't win every year. Maybe this is a team who's on a rise, and they're willing to pay you that money as well too, because they're going to have it this upcoming offseason. We thought this was him who probably will still be in the bottom tier of it, maybe get another high draft pick, and then you see them elevate after that. They're doing it right now. They're 5-4 in the playoff race. They're behind Jacksonville in the AFC South, but Jacksonville slip and lose a couple more games, and Houston goes up. Guess what? Not only are they a playoff contender, but they get some looks in the free agency as well too. Oh, they're selling. D'Amico Ryans, he's a dog. People love player coaches as well too who used to play the game, and he was a top dog at the linebacker position. So you just got to put in perspective of like what can happen. Veach, think about it. This was a guy that you drafted. I gave you a benefit of the doubt already. A lot of guys that you didn't pick up, you're being stingy with the money with. But it seems like the guys that you're picking up and that you're drafting, you're trying to give chances to.
Uh,
Ken McCole Hardman, you traded back for him
okay.
and you let him go.
I think Beach. I think he's a little mad about the how you spending your money. But look, this is all I say. I understand wherever we go from here with L'Jarius Sneed because, like I said, we've been successful with all the fruits of Brett Veach's labor, whether that be trading guys away, whether that be letting guys walk. We have had success with that, so I don't want to damper him and say, "Oh, do this with your money, do that with your money." Whatever the plan is, I just say make it a good one. And if like he said, I would use exhaust all options, tag as many times as I can. See how many, what if we can stretch it out or shorten it up, guarantee money. You got to figure out some different things because this is just a corner. Yeah, you don't want to let them out. Don't want to let them
Yep.
out.
Yep, it's a hard position to actually replace, and having someone like that, he's definitely elevated his game during his time here. He was a part of a Super Bowl that we lost against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he wrote it out. Lost against the Bengals that next year, came back, won a Super Bowl. So this is someone who he has the hardware already. He's looking for a payday. Kid from Louisiana, trying to put on for his family, trying to take care of his family. So we gotta take that into consideration as well. But I think he loves Kansas City. I think he want to be here for a long time. So we'll see how it goes. But before we go ahead and go into our next topic, go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Make sure to check out our previous videos that we put up already, our breakdowns with Clinton, also previous videos of Extra Point, and all the stuff we have coming up as well too. We got a breakdown coming up again this upcoming week. Chiefs football is back, so we definitely want y'all to come in, tap in, look at this content because we're putting it out there for y'all to enjoy and for us to discuss. So don't forget to check us out on all those platforms and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lonnie,
Yeah.
our next topic, Monday New Heights. We got a rematch of the Super Bowl 57. Kansas City Chiefs won last year 38-35. The Eagles were definitely frustrated. Didn't like some of the calls that happened towards the end of the game. We had that big holding on Juju Smith-Schuster. It was definitely obvious. But hey, don't call it because it's the Super Bowl. It doesn't make sense, but okay. We're able to get a first down, run out the clock, kick a field goal, run out the time at the end. Chiefs win a Super Bowl. Also, throughout the offseason, we've been hearing a lot of talk about how bad the field was. I guess the Kansas City Chiefs didn't play on that field as well either. But it is what it is. So we got to this point now. We got done with the first half of the season. Both teams are coming off a bye. Great coaches, Andy Reid, Nick Sirianni. Both also coached with each other as well, too. Nick Sirianni was under Andy Reid at some point in time when he was in Kansas City and Philadelphia.
Both
So
the class
Lonnie,
of their division.
yep, at the top
So,
of their conference
yep.
division, and this is a battle of the best teams in the entire NFL and
Yep.
a potential Super Bowl
Super Bowl.
58
Yep. Preview.
preview. So what are your thoughts about this upcoming game and what do you expect from this Chiefs Eagles rematch on Monday Night Football?
Yeah. So I'm confident we win. Being that Andy Reid is coming out of the bye. Andy Reid is very successful coming out of buys. He does great. Usually when it's time to get out of the bye and have success. So I'm confident that we win. Now I'm not sure how we do this. Whether it be on defense or whether it be on offense, running away with the score. I'll get my score in the next segment, but I think we get a little bit mojo back in our offense, being that we're coming off the bye. Andy usually has great plans, and I want to see if Spagnuolo's can have that defense kind of come in and capitalize on that momentum that they have. So I really just want to. I think we win it on. I think we win this game. I don't think we win it going away. It's going to be a back and forth fight. This is not going to be an easy game. These are some people that this is a team that we beat. Last year in the Super Bowl when it really mattered the most, and they really thought that they had us going in that halftime, being that they had
Man,
Mahomes hampered and he was limping, and we got him. So I feel like the DBs left a lot of plays out there as well, and I feel like they'll know. They want to get him back. Trent McDuffie almost had a pick in that Super Bowl, and he kind of just gave up a touchdown there. So I feel like there's some defensive plays that were left out there on the field that the defense still wants to get back as well. So I think we win the game, but I'm not sure how we win it, especially with that tush push, all of that stuff going on. We just have to figure it out. We're going to have to scratch and claw and get this one. And just hopefully our offense comes back and just shows us a little bit of promise here.
Yep. Honestly, I know it's going to be a defensive game. I think this is two defenses that really play at a high level, and they're one of the best in the league right now as well too. Definitely top five when you go into that category. But the offenses will have flashes. They will have moments. I think it will come down to the last drive, of course, and I do think it played in the Chiefs' favor again. Just because I think with the added motivation of what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball now, I think we're definitely confident of the product that we actually put out there. Like you said, we had a couple plays that we gave away in that game, and we could have made it big moments for us to where we could have kept it close going into the halftime. I mean, it was 24-14, and we able to go out there, have about 2 or 3 touchdowns unanswered. They were able to respond, and then we're good to go after that. So I think we have the potential to really be dominant on that side of the ball. This is a great offensive line that is led by by Jason Kelce, and then also you have a great guard in Lane Johnson as well too. So they definitely have the potential. They definitely are great run blockers. They have guys like DeAndre Sweat and Gainwell who can really get loose in the run game. So we really gonna have to find ways to limit that. So I think it's going to be very important that we keep them from third in short situations, because he's not hesitant of putting his guys out there and doing that tush push like you said as well. And then we also saw the fake tush push that was successful and they were able to score a touchdown off of. So I think in moments we're going to have to be very aggressive on first and second down. We're going to have to try to get them behind the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to try to route up Jalen Hurts a little bit, really put the pressure on him and make him make quick decisions. Spags is a guy who knows how to defend young quarterbacks, because his schemes are very difficult to understand. So if you don't get it at that moment, it can set you up for failure in big moments that we saw last week against the Miami Dolphins. Tua forced fumble at the end of the game where we was able to close it out. Right now, we had a fumble in the last year's Super Bowl where Nick Bolton was able to come in, scare Jalen Hurts a little bit, be able to pick up the fumble and go in for a touchdown. So the thing is, I think the Chiefs defense want to go in winning the turnover battle. And if they can make that turnover become points, that's going to put our offense in position to be like, okay, maybe we'll score 2 or 3 touchdowns, we fine. Because if they're able to get a touchdown in there and we're scoring 3, that's 28 points right there, right? So you already putting yourself ahead. You're counting what you can do at that time, at that point, because you got an offense to where if they get going, they can get going. They got great wide receivers like AJ Brown. They got Devontae Smith. They got Jalen Hurts, who is a mobile quarterback but also can throw the ball as well too. They got a DeAndre Swift that came over from the Detroit Lions. Don't know why he was traded, but still, he's a great running back, and he's been having a hell of a year. Thank you for my fantasy. I got you. I see you. So I know the Kansas City Chiefs is watching that as well too. So I think it's going to be definitely a defensive game. We're going to have to get a couple turnovers and get a couple stops, make them force them to be able to punt the ball more than they actually try to attempt to go for it. So we're going to have to do well on that side of the ball, and offensively, no mistakes, no turnovers. We can't play from behind. The reason why we was in the game again in the Super Bowl is because Patrick Mahomes didn't have a turnover at all. No interceptions. He threw for 182 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he was definitely efficient. He was able to get the ball off quick. He was able to get the offense down the field, and then we also had a great running game with Isaiah Pacheco as well too. So we're going to have the same formula that we had in the Super Bowl. No Juju this time. So Rashee Rice, it's your time to step up and show why you filled in that role. And I think he can be a guy who can actually make something work and make something happen as well too. So this is a game that he can showcase why he can be the number 1 receiver going forward. And then also maybe in a situation where we need a big punt return, Noble Cole, KT. Let's give him a flashback of what can happen again. Mind games. So let's do it. So anything else you want to actually say before we go ahead and move on to our predictions?
And yeah, no, that was always in the back of my head. Just Andy switching that out. If it really gets down to the nitty gritty, we need to win the game. He wants to mess with the defense's head. Don't be
and,
scared if you see 19, because that's what he's known for doing that. He used to do it with Tyreek too.
and
He
you
will throw him back there in the crunch time.
and you know he hold grudges too. Philly, y'all let him go. Y'all gave up on him. He was able to go ahead and go win 2 Super Bowls. Now they did get a Super Bowl themselves, but during his time, his tenure here in Kansas City, every time they did play the Philadelphia Eagles, they were able to win. While he was our head coach, so he definitely has that in the back of his head as well too. He always have love for that city, but we're in Arrowhead Stadium, coming back from the bye, it's definitely going to be a fun game. And Lonnie, let's go ahead and get into it. Predictions for this upcoming game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So our producer at this point, at this time right now, he has the Chiefs 20 and the Eagles 23. You can tell that he has it as a defensive game. Eagles only scoring 23 points, but he thinks they can get that field goal to actually get over us. So Lonnie, what are your thoughts and what are your predictions for this upcoming game?
Yeah, I'm going 31-28 Chiefs.
Hmm.
I think we win by a field goal. I think it's a little bit closer than what it was last game. I mean, what it was last time we played them in the Super Bowl. This is a high octane offense, like I said before. These are some guys that can score points. These are guys that they said that they view every first down as first and 9, instead of first and 10, just because they have that push there. That'll automatically give them that extra yard. So this is a hot octane offense. This is a Super Bowl preview. This is a game that you have to secure to show that you are separating yourself from the rest of the teams in the NFL. And we are the class of the NFL as of right now. So I think that this is going to be a close game. It's not going to be easy. I think we win by a field goal, one field goal, 28-31. Chiefs win.
All right, so I guess you're giving it more offensive. You probably think the offense is going to come out on fire this time, right? Maybe something similar to what we saw against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm actually going to put it like this: 27-24 Chiefs. I think that we see some great flashes from the offense on both sides of the ball from both teams. I think they have a probably quick score responding to us. We have some scores responding to them as well too. But I think Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be more efficient this game. I think he's going to be careful with the ball because he has been careless throughout this entire season. We wake up for teams like this. We play to the level of our competition. I know in games that the competition was low tier, but in moments like this, he does rise to the occasion, and I think he does it again. I think he does enough. So I think he has around 2 to 3 touchdowns, but I think we win the game on the ground. Isaiah Pacheco, we have to feed him the ball. I think he has to have close to 20 carries, honestly, 20 to 25. Just because if we're able to control the time of possession, we're able to extend drives, we're able to go downfield, we're able to dial something up, get into the red zone, and actually put points on the board because we wasn't able to do that against the Denver Broncos, and we had moments against the Miami Dolphins as well too. So we had to have a better red zone percentage. So I think we get better this week, knowing that this is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a Super Bowl rematch, and we know that they're going to come out trying to beat us because they don't like what happened last year. They don't like what happened in February. So it's going to be a closer game. I think it's not going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be in a realm of 27-24. So if I'm everybody, I would say go under on the 40 points for this matchup, because off on the defensive side of the ball this year, we already talked about this in previous episodes as well too. The defenses have caught up. They're not letting the offensive coordinators and these great quarterbacks come out here and just take over the game. I think they want to bring it back to, we're going to get a turnover. We're going to be able to, you know, slow down that opposing offense. We're not going to let them get over the top with us and get down the field, score quickly. They're going to try to be very aggressive. They're going to get after those quarterbacks because the best way to stop an elite quarterback is pressure him throughout the entire game and make him uncomfortable and throw off the timing with his receivers. So I think both sides of the ball are looking at that. The Chiefs have been having a struggling wide receiver group. Travis Kelce, when Taylor Swift is not at the game, he's not great. They're going to try to take advantage of that. They're going into that game with that mindset. Philadelphia Eagles, At times, y'all turn over the ball. Jalen Hurts, this is the most turnovers he had as an NFL quarterback. He's matching 8 interceptions with Patrick Mahomes and many others. So they're looking like, okay, do what we did last time. Attack, go after him, make him throw up the ball at times. We're going to be able to play the ball a lot better. We're going to get turnovers ourselves. Maybe get another fumble as well. We saw what we did last week. They're going to come with the same mindset. So 27-24 Chiefs. I'm going with it 8-2. Still going to be number 1 in the AFC conference. And I still think this will be a Super Bowl rematch that we actually see this upcoming year as well too. So anything else you want to add, Lonnie, before we go ahead and get out of here tonight?
No, let's not run out of here with this victory again, please. That's it. That's my thing. We ran out of everywhere with victories. And
Yeah.
we thanking God that we made it out. No,
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. Let's get the decisive, get the victory, and go home feeling good.
Okay. Yep. I agree. So before we head out of here, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, like, comment, and share this video so we can talk to all other Chiefs fans as well too. Make sure to check out our old content as well. Extra Point with Daily Dale and Home of the Chiefs breakdown with Clinton Pentry. And also, we'll be having upcoming content as well too. We're going to be providing you with everything Chiefs, and we definitely want to connect with you all and come down in the comment section and have a couple of debates. So, man, show some love to the channel. Show some love to Red Kingdom Media. We love everybody, and we want to wish everyone well. Don't forget, before we get out of here, go Chiefs!
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom